This video chart presentation of Double Eagle Holdings Limited brought to you by allpennystocks.com. Stock Charts has this listed as a pink sheet, but Double Eagle is actually an OTCQ B tier traded stock, trading under ticker DEGH. I scaled this into a 6-month chart to get a better look at what's going on right through here. This actually made a pretty solid climb from down here in the sub-pennies up to this level before forming some new support, resistance, breaking out once, doing it again, breaking out again. All you can really say is congrats to anybody that held this from down here in the sub pennies all the way up to 75 cents. Just a massive move. Kind of trending sideways right now, though. So we're going to take a look at these indicators, see if they're telling us anything. This is pretty much all is to be expected. You're going to see some retraces going on. Indicators are just going to move real hard with that making that sort of a move. They need to retrace. More importantly, what you see now is a little bit of an uptrend going on in the histogram, but this holding right around the zero mark. And this is the area we always talk about wanting to see some turns happen. You want to see the retrace be concluded through here, and for this to turn back, 12 to break through the 26 EMA or the signal line, and head back into bull mode. Similar with the PPO, almost identical. See the ADX right down near that 10 mark now. That's what we always talk about when it gets near that level. Look for a rotation for this to try and change direction and add some strength to a trend. MFIs basically oscillating right around 50. Pretty neutral, but all three together, they're in a nice position. Overall, still a nice uptrend going on in the accumulation distribution, but of course, it's pretty much going sideways for the last month or so. Jake and money flow holding in the green, showing buying pressure still overcoming selling pressure. You can see right through here, you can even draw that line all the way back, but just indecision right now going on with the CCI. Full stow showing it's losing its momentum, all to be expected as part of a retrace. Tricks holding right around zero. Again, key component for it, see if it's going to make a rotation. RSIs all holding right around 50. Interesting thing to note, this does need to try and kick it in gear a little bit, because you can see the longer terms, the ones you really try to track for overall movement, are making lower highs. Right now, this 7 is going to need to break through this 14 and 21 and get that 14 and 21 a little bit more firmly over top of 50 and make a new higher high. Just something to keep an eye on. If it does, it'll be showing even more strength in this play. But right now, relatively neutral. Some people will look at this as a triangle or a pennant or even a flag, but I think it's important to note that in TA, the longer those drag out, the less reliable they are as a triangle or a flag sort of look. They really become more of a channel play, and you can see this has got some pretty strong resistance right there, about 40 cents. Now, the lower side of the channel is a little bit more difficult to define because it is making higher lows, and that's something that's pretty important and something that you always look for. You can see 20, 23, 26, 27 and a half, 29. It is continually trying to push itself upward, but I'd look right in around this 27-cent mark and call that the lower side of the channel. Now, it is pretty substantial from 27 up to 40, talking around a 40% move, and that'll catch the eye of technical traders because if they can grab it down here on the bottom side, ride it up, see that it can't break through that resistance, it would become probably a sell. Let it ride back down, catch the bottom again, and then try and ride it back up. People that play the same charts over and over again, stuff like that, they'll look for these sort of channels because there's some nice movement in it, and if it does break out, there's a pretty substantial upside. Now, if it does break down, there's not a lot of support in sight. Now, it can catch these different levels, 26, 23, 20, one of those secondary support levels. It could catch one of them and establish it again, but from a static standpoint, it picks up a little bit at 15. It's not real strong until down around 10 cents. So that's why holding that support level becomes pretty important. Paying attention to the volume. 112,000 shares is a little bit low. You can see it can put together some pretty strong volume days. That 112,000 is right about normal, maybe a little bit low. But what you look for is you want to see buying start to pick up on the lower side of a channel. And if it's going to take the top out, that's when you want to see some surges come in. Similarly, breaking down. You don't want to see volume start escalating as it's breaking through a support level, or it's going to increase the odds it's going to drop even farther. Now, just like that downside is pretty substantial, if this breaks through the channel, picks up a little bit of resistance around 50 cents, but resistance isn't really strong until up around 75. So those sort of things give this chart a lot of technical appeal, and that's one of the reasons it was picked as a technical stock to watch this week. 50-day moving average is right there in play. Of course, the most bullish of charts are trading over top of that 50-day and the 200-day, with them trending upward. Indicators are kind of at some make or break points. So overall, it's a very interesting look to a chart and one worth putting on radar this week to see if it's going to go up and try and take the upper side of this channel out or not. And in a market where so many charts are still trending downward and trying to find bottoms, Double Eagle has a pretty nice look with potentially trying to make another move upward. So for these reasons, we're going to add it to the watch list and see how it performs this week. As always, this is merely my interpretation of the DEGH chart. I'm not a financial consultant and strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure and do not base any investment decisions upon any material found on the website and/or its video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching and trade smart.